Caleb with YouCanMakeThisToo. Of course, I'm not in my shop. As you know, I just released a video on this table. We got the base over there, almost ready to wrap it up. I'm at Narwhal Labs here in Bristol, Rhode Island, co-located with TotalBoat and Jamestown Distributors. And while I'm here, I thought we'd do a little tour of the shop. So instead of just like the piecemeal bits of it you got from seeing the table build, you can actually see the whole makerspace up here, which is open to memberships and the public. So just a little bit about Narwhal Labs. Of course, it is a makerspace, so you can get a membership, come out here, use all the awesome stuff, learn about the products. And this is also where all the TotalBoat videos are shot. So when you see the tips and tricks and all the product trials and trying to play with the new products, this is where all that happens. Anyway, this is kind of the main area where we come into main workbench. This is a studio, so you see this a lot in the Narwhal Labs TotalBoat videos. Big tool wall and everything, but we're gonna try to give you the real perspective maybe you miss. So main entrance behind me, and then moving over is another area you probably see a lot. This is an epoxy finish station basically. So we have all the different epoxies, handy carts, you know, all of our mixer stuff. You're probably familiar with the manual pumps. This is a cool little Arduino driven mixer for thick set. It's pretty nifty that they did a video on. You should check that out. And yeah, all the things you could possibly want to mix. Want to say they also have a nifty little video on their black diamond pigment rack that Jeff built for the shop. And this is the epoxy. Let's swing back around and we'll kind of pan the other way from the main area. Got the small CNC, more tool storage. This is where the dust collection that kind of rolls around in here tends to live. I don't know why the drum sander's out here. I wouldn't want to make a bunch of dust. Should be in the wood area. Might go back there later, but it's here right now. And then coming down this side, we're moving into more of the sort of digital fabrication electronics area. So we've got vinyl cutters, nice variety of vinyl to mess with, electronics station. So this is where we can work on PCBs, control boards, all the Arduino, Raspberry Pi, teensy kind of stuff. Move into very cool toy. We got a 100-watt big boy CO2 laser. And this is, again, moving into the rest of the digital fabrication. We got some 3D printers, PLA, all the different wire, and then as well as some resin printers, which resin printers are just cool. If you've never seen those, definitely check them out because they print upside down. So it's just like pulls the model out of the resin and then you stick it into the other chamber to cure it and clean it and stuff. Yeah, it's wild. It's like a crazy, fantastic beast. Anyway, and then just kind of finish the scope, give you perspective, spin back around, and you can see everything we already saw. Through the double doors here, we'll head into the woodworking area where that drum sander should be. And we have a fully outfitted wood shop. Big soft stop table, 36-inch fence, and then we mentioned the smaller CNC. We have a large Avid CNC back here. I give you a dimension, but I'd probably lie. I'm gonna guess and say 5x8, 5x10. Sounds about right, something like that. And again, fully outfitted wood shop. So we got a lathe over here, planer, more dust collection, fan saw, drill press. There's a baby jointer hanging out underneath the table saw, miter saw station on a stand, as well as some plywood, sheet good, wood storage. So just about any small project you want to think of, material on hand to work with. And the most recent area, one of the reasons I was invited up here, is to break in the new metal shop. So we have, you know, the weld-proof curtains, so you don't get blinded while people are working in here. And through the red curtain, ignore the man behind the curtain is word. That's TotalBoat Jamestown Distributors Fulfillment Center. So here we just have some sort of flex space, open area, new welding table. They just built Vice PPE storage. And then where you are and the other way is all the goodies here. We'll kind of start over here. We've got a nice light duty metal brake. So if you want to do any sheet metal forming, we can do that. We have a arbor press, jack press, some kind of press. You push stuff with this. It's got a jack, it pushes things real hard. 12 tons even. I've never played with those, don't know much about it. Anyway, another table yet to be built. Portaband, got a table. I broke the blade. We need to put a new blade on it, that was my bad. Stand, also have horizontal, vertical table because I broke the blade. I was lazy and we just started using this. Normally tables off of it. Got a nice little shop action, it's fun. Sand blasting booth even. And then jumping over, we get to like the really cool stuff over here. We have a CNC plasma table. CNC plasma table. I mean, come on, it's too cool. Then, multi-process welding station. So we did a bunch of MIG when we were designing or welding up that base, and even came with TIG. Fantastic setup. Jeff Shaw, fantastic guy. He has all this sweet organization everywhere you might be noticing. I should have talked about this more. Like, look how beautiful this is. And on the other wall, behind the bandsaw, like, see how beautiful this is? And then the last station, a Ameribraid 2x72, I want to say, 2x72 grinder, bunch of belts. Got to use one of these for the first time while I was here. I've never used a big boy grinder before. Super cool. Love that we can adjust the platen and everything, pull it in and out, get all the angles. There's all the crazy angles we did on that base. We couldn't nail them while we were cutting, so was able to get this set up to the right angles and then get everything polished exactly where we needed it. And I know that was kind of quick. Again, the point of this isn't to, like, you know, talk about every specific tool and pitch those tools. But here we have, I mean, a full service makerspace, whatever you could think of you want to do. 3D printing, woodworking, metalworking, digital fabrication, CNC wood or aluminum, light duty machining, plastics, acrylics. You know, we got a CNC plasma table so you can cut all kinds of crazy stuff out of sheet goods perfectly, weld them up, plus all the epoxy goodness with the new resin released just this week, cast and turn, and we have the lathe and pressure pots and vacuum pots here so you can, like, cast crazy things and make crazy things. I mean, it's not just a makerspace, it's like a maker's haven. All the cool things, and whiteboards. Whiteboards are awesome. And more than that, fantastic staff and people. Everyone here has been just an absolute pleasure to work with. Super knowledgeable. Definitely couldn't have got this project done this week without their help, because trying to do everything we did, casting that table and the base, definitely wasn't gonna happen in 4 days without a whole lot of help. They did a lot of prep ahead of time for me. I showed up and it was all done right and perfectly, zero complaints, and along the way, you know, I could jump over and we could work on whatever I needed to be for the filming, and if there was still more sanding or grinding to be done or metal cutting, the other guys would jump right on it and help out. So it was great. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the tour of the space. If you ever get a chance, if you're around Bristol, be sure to, you know, stop by and at least say hello. And if you're local and you're looking for somewhere to do some work, definitely consider memberships. I think they said like 20 bucks a month or something, which is ridiculous for a makerspace. And yeah, this is a great resource in your backyard maybe you didn't know about. Hope you learned something, were inspired, or at least entertained. And until next time, make time to make something.